Why are people socializing so much? Welcome back to After Hour Happy Hour. We are your chaotic but cathartic co-hosts. I'm Jamila.
I'm Vicky.
I'm Sharon.
Welcome back to season 4. That's absolutely crazy that we're in season 4. And we are kicking off this season with filming respectively in our own homes. It's almost kind of like a full circle to when we filmed our very first episode in our own home.
But last season we ended it's the same except for you.
Oh yeah, but like, you know, we ended, I was like in LA, but right now like we're starting off, it feels like exactly the 3 years ago. Wait, we started March, right? Wait, no, just kidding.
Girl, we started in August.
Yeah, it's like summer.
Oh my god, we're gonna hit 3 years. Wow, that's crazy.
It feels like we haven't filmed in a really, really long time, which I guess we haven't, but then we've only been gone or taken a break, end of March?
But we also didn't film all of March, I think, because we had hella stuff filmed beforehand. We pushed out till March, but we didn't film for like at least 3 months.
Yeah, so it's been a while for all 3 of us, and then for you guys. So whoever's back as an old listener, welcome back. We missed you. Hope you've been well.
If this episode is a little rough, don't worry,
Sorry.
it'll get better, okay? This is just us getting used to the swing of things again. But we sometimes, some of you guys leave us comments or DM us when we post stories saying that, oh my god, we can't wait for you guys to come back. We're back! Thank you for sticking with us, even though we're been a little inactive. We've all been really busy with our own thing, which is why, honestly, us three, we actually haven't really caught up with each other really until like this past 2 weeks. Before that, it was very much like we were just grinding our own thing. We texted here and there, but to really sit down and talk to each other and FaceTime, it wasn't until we started planning for season 4, and then that's when we like really caught up. So this also feels weird for us, or a little bit weird, because it's like we haven't been in this setting in a really long time.
Yeah.
With that being said, what have you guys been up to? Why are we so busy?
Oh, I was just gonna say that I literally just work all the time, and that's about it.
Vicky, there's the details. You are going out more. You're going to SF more to like go out and see friends. You were like start running. You start boxing. Like these were.
That's not new. We've talked about that last season. We already
We did?
yeah. Or I'm a fitness girly, and that's what I've been doing.
I think it just feels like it's been a really, really long time.
Yeah, because I've been running since the beginning of the year.
Oh. Well, how has work been? Why are you so busy at work?
I don't know why, actually. I think we've been picking up a lot of clients, and I'm like reaching my 1-year mark, so I kind of want more out of my job. I feel like 1 year is a good time to be like, oh, I got myself situated. So this is like you're hitting your speed run where you're like ready to step up and like take on more stuff and not feeling like a newbie. And so that's where I'm at with my job, and I'm busy working or trying to find ways to improve myself for work.
I mean, you recently or kind of recently switched teams and you're doing like more graphics, more UI stuff now. And you said that's what you want to do, right?
I didn't switch teams, I switched companies, but like I switched to the bigger umbrella company. I used to work at like a brand new startup, but it was owned by my current boss essentially. And since that company, we like rearranged people, I like moved to my bigger company. I actually don't know what the proper term is, like e-commerce marketing agency. But yeah, I feel like ever since I switched into this new agency and we get bigger projects and like long-term clients, I get to handle more things, which means I do get to play around more because I used to be UX design, but now I'd say I'd like do visuals and stuff too.
Nice.
Cool.
What have I been up to? I wish I could say a lot has happened in the past 3 months, but the only big thing that has changed is my mental sanity, which has gone down. So I'm sorry that I'm going to be a negative Nancy probably until I'm out of here, but my life is just trying to find a job and having back to back existential crises in my 20s and trying to figure it out. So that's what I've been busy with.
Well, that's what our podcast description is. You know, when we started like early 20s till now, it's like, you know, this is part of our journey of trying to figure out ourselves, what we want to do. So I feel like with this season, you might hear a little bit more about what each of us are going through because each of us are in like similar stages of our lives where we're really career focused, but we're going through kind of different situations that not the other two are going through.
Is that us often?
I feel like we're always in a similar stage. We're always kind of having like a similar goal that we were trying to do, but the situation around it is a little different.
I just don't think we're ever content
That's a good
or
thing, though.
satisfied. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What have I been up to? Also work. Like I said, we're all really focused on our career right now. So I currently work in entertainment, and entertainment is like super fast paced and always going, especially if my company is really small. So there's just a lot of work that falls onto me. But it is a career that I'm like really enjoying. So my life right now is just 80% work and like 20% fun, which is something I already kind of planned for or expected when I pivoted into this industry. So it's nothing I'm complaining about. I feel like I'm getting like a really good learning opportunity. Is it stressful? Yeah, sometimes. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. And I think that's why we're all been pretty introverted in terms of we just aren't doing a lot of socializing versus our friend group. Like they're always going out, like every weekend there's always an event, and especially now that it's like hitting summer, there's always something going on, like people want to hang out. So this kind of led to the topic of why is everyone socializing versus us, we're on the other spectrum.
Yeah.
See, my question is, I wonder if it's like a post-pandemic thing. This is our third year into the pandemic and like everything's definitely shifting. We don't act like there's a pandemic anymore and people are socializing because everything's open. Or is it because we're hitting our mid-20s and people are like, oh, new me, new time period of life. You know how like when you first go into freshman year of college, you're like all gung-ho about meeting people and experiencing all these experiences? Like are we re-entering a new stage of your 20s where people want to do that and meet new friends because you've like spent 5 years with your college friends? So now you're like, I want to refresh and meet more people.
I think it's both. Like for sure, people coming out of pandemic, they're like, yes, I have this itch to like want to hang out. But I also think it's more of maybe of the mid-20s thing. Like now we're in a much more stable stage. We've been working, I think, at least like 2-3 years professionally now. So there's a lot more financial stability compared to before. And there's a lot more of a routine that people have. So they're like, okay, during work days, this is what I'm doing. So during weekends, I'm gonna fill it up with fun things. So there's just a lot more, there's like financial stability. There's also just routine stability for them to add in as many like social activities as they want. But maybe what I'm also noticing is maybe we socialize a lot during college versus I feel like the people that I'm noticing who are socializing like a lot now or like wanting to like meet more people are the ones who like didn't do as much in college.
But how have they not been socially awkward post-pandemic? I feel like that's my biggest issue meeting new people is like I'm socially dumb now. Sometimes I don't know what to say anymore and I'd much rather just sit in silence because I'm like, fuck, what do I talk about? I have nothing to talk about anymore.
I feel like because everyone is in a more sociable mood, it's just easier to strike their conversation. And I think the people that like they're meeting who are new, it's kind of like friends of friends. So there's like already a pre-established kind of comfort versus you going out like completely meeting new people. At least in the people who I'm thinking who got like way more social.
Well, I think it's just like I know a lot of people went through it during the pandemic. So then naturally, within a couple years, I feel like people are back in their social bubble, I guess, or reintegrating into society, which makes sense. But then there are also people who have always been social and just are continuing to be social. Then there's also people who have always been social, but are even more social or more extroverted and want to meet more people. And I think in that aspect, I can't relate. It's the sensing in me where I don't want to socialize right now because I'm just not. So then I don't know.
I don't know why I don't want to socialize. I feel like I do, but only with people that I know. If you tell me to meet someone new, I'm like, you got to give me like a week's notice. Like I need to mentally prepare myself.
You say that, but then I feel like when I see you socialize or like meeting new people, I don't feel that. I think like, oh, Vicky's like completely fine.
Girl, you don't know how much much time I put in to do research so then I have conversation with them. All the new people I've met, if I know that I'm about to meet them, best believe I know what your IG handle is, who you're dating, who you're not dating, what job you're working. I do all that research so that when we meet, I have something to bring up. And most of the time, it's like a mutual of a mutual. So I'm really good at being like, oh, so Jan was telling me that, da 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 da. That's why if it's like I haven't, remember that night when we were gonna go to Raven and those like random people that I did not know and were not mutuals of mutuals?
Yeah.
Oh, girl, I sat there and I was like, how is Jamila talking to people so happily? Because I have no idea what to talk to any of these girls. The only time that I was like, oh my God, there's a commonality here is when one of the girls knew Jack, who I knew from college.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, see, I feel like I still socialize, or like if I'm put in situations like that, I have no problem. It's not like I've gotten so introverted where I'm like, I don't know how to talk to people. It's just more of a, I feel like, I told you guys, I feel like because I have like so much work to do that sometimes I just need to like mentally give myself like me time and like mentally prepare myself to go back to work, which is kind of stopping me from wanting to go out and socialize because I'm like, oh my God, socializing is gonna be fun for sure, but then I'm gonna be like tired for an entire day and I feel like I don't have enough time to like mentally recruit myself to like prepare for what's a week ahead, which is why I think I've gotten way more okay with like not going out or just like hanging out only with like really like close friends when I like come back versus before I like hit up every single one of my friends when I was back home.
Yeah, I do feel like you've gotten a lot more introverted. Or you're more okay with being at home. I wouldn't say you're introverted. You're just more okay at like being at home and like resting.
Yeah. And remember yesterday I told you guys, I was like, oh my God, it was like so much fun hanging out with my parents. I haven't felt that in so long. Like I don't think I've felt that since beginning of 2020 when the pandemic started. It sounds weird, but like when the pandemic started, it was honestly not too bad at home. Me and my parents were like pretty chill and stuff. So it was kind of like nice to go back or feel that same way for now that it's been 3 years. Because obviously, as you guys know from the podcast, there was just like a lot of like rough patches that me and my parents had to go through. So it just felt really nice. And I'm like, wow, I kind of like being home rather than like going out.
But do you think if you had an actual work-life balance, you would have a higher social meter?
Maybe. I feel like when I was like in LA and stuff, like in the beginning, I still went out a lot. I still wanted to go out, but then I also kind of hit that stage of what's okay with not going out. Like I feel like the moment I turned 25, I really just grew up in terms of being okay, being alone a little bit more, or not needing to go out as much or like as much of like external energy. It's weird.
Prefrontal cortex just solidifying.
Yeah. And I think also just physically, after a night of going out, it's just really tiring for me the next day that I just don't like it. I feel like I'm like wasting a whole day just not doing anything. And I think that's also a really big factor to why I don't want to go out as much anymore. Or I would just try to do like a big thing and then just rest for like 2-3 weeks after. Like what I did with EDC. It was Friday and then I basically just busted a mission, got out of EDC like Monday morning, 6 a.m., then flew back and went straight to work. So like that was really tiring, but I was like, okay, I'll just do it that one weekend. And then I just didn't like go out or do anything at all for weekends after.
Yeah, maybe people just, I don't know. Because I know a lot of people who can socialize back to back to back to back and are okay with it and enjoy it. So at that point, I think I just assume it's in their nature.
Do you think if you weren't in your current state, let's just say you weren't looking for a job, you were more like you had a job and you were more stable, you would feel like you would socialize more? Or you think you have other kind of self priorities that you would want to focus on?
One, I was going to say I really couldn't tell you because I haven't wanted to be social for the past 3 years because of just personal stuff that I prioritized. But then if I wasn't, me being an introvert at its core, I could see myself being okay with socializing, but preferring not to still. So I don't know. I'd like to think that if, career and personal stuff is like stable, I would want to socialize. I like to think that I would want to be doing things more. So let's say that is what's going to happen when the time comes.
I think so too.
I feel like if anything right now, Vicky's been the most social of us three. Not to say like you're like obviously super social, but I feel like you've been doing the most of us three.
I don't know about social. I just think she's doing more things for herself.
Yeah.
which is different.
Okay, actually, sorry. What I mean by that is, it's not that you weren't down to go out before, but I feel like now, like whenever I come out or whenever I come back, you'll actually be the one that suggests like, oh, let's go out or like let's go drinking. Versus before, it was like, Vicky, like let's do this, and you're like, okay, let me like mentally prepare myself. I think that's what I meant.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely more open to like my people hang out. If I already know you and we're friends, like I'm more prone to plan trips and stuff. I've been doing that more versus I don't know if I'm ready for meeting like new people on my own. If the chance comes, obviously I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to talk to you, but I'm not going to also do like what I did in Korea where I go on Bumble Friends and like meet up with random strangers and talk to them.
Okay, yeah, true. I think that let's say we lived in the same vicinity and we had work-life balance and stuff like that. I feel like I would want to do things with you guys. So I think maybe it does really depend on who I'm trying to be social for. But because for the majority of our friendship, it's just been long distance, I immediately don't even consider you guys in my social circle because you guys aren't there. So maybe that's the problem.
I feel like I've been seeing Vicky kind of often, actually. I think I've seen you every single month so far. I've seen you December, April, May. June.
Yeah.
Pretty normal. I feel like I haven't seen Sharon in ages, though.
Yep.
4 months. I saw you guys both in February.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a while, man.
Compared to when we went 3 years.
That's true. Before February, we saw each other like July of the year before.
No, it was December. August for head in class, but December. Remember Sharon impromptuli made a trip to SF and we filmed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's when she got COVID? That was not December.
No, remember it was when I was talking to, yeah.
Oh, we didn't film. We just hung out for one day.
We did.
We filmed in his apartment.
Holy shit.
I was like, we only hung out one day. How did we film?
Dude, remember what I told you guys? I was like, oh my god, if I get more introverted, I should go see a therapist. But honestly, I think it's fine. I feel like this is self-growth. Literally, the moment I turned 25, I feel like some things in my brain just like click.
That's a good segue to the next question. Do you think you'll ever get back to being hella extroverted?
I love how everything's like dependent. It's like if I have a good work-life balance.
Girl, you'd be working 7 to 9. I won't go out ever if I were you.
That's true. Yeah, I think so. I don't think I'll ever be as social as I was in college, going out 4 days in a row or being okay with like going out every weekend. I feel like now I also starting to enjoy some of me time. This one Friday, I think people were coming over, so I had to clean my room, you know? But then I like deep cleaned my entire room, deep cleaned my entire bathroom, and then did my laundry, and that was so therapeutic to me. And I finally kind of understand like why you guys like doing it. Have I done it since? No. But
she's like, I growed up. I did it once.
No, because I just literally I haven't had a reason to because I haven't been home, and also I just been really busy. But then
I don't know if that counts as growing up. You just did it one time.
Yeah, but no, but it's just like it didn't. It was just a feeling of it. Like I never felt that way. It was just like
you're right.
You know, it's a new feeling that I'm like, oh, I could like do this again. Versus before, I was like, oh, I have to clean my room, or like, oh, like you know, what the fuck.
You would think that like moving out so many years, you would develop that habit, but it took till now for you to get to that.
Some things are just innate. Like I'm just not cleaning, or I don't enjoy cleaning. Okay, that was so off tangent, but yeah, basically, I don't think I'll ever be as social because I value some of like that me time now. Sometimes just having literally, I just binge dramas for an entire weekend, and that feels kind of great to me. And also, like what I said before, it's just physically really demanding to go out all the time now. So I just don't think like I could really keep up physically.
Yeah, I also think college is like such a bad comparison to now because college was proximity and it was so easy to be like, you want to go do this, let's go. Versus like now, I literally was trying to plan with my home friends last week. So the first week of June to like meet up, and there's like 7, 8 of us. And the only time we were free was a month from now. And we all live in the same city. So it's just like planning at our age. There's so many things going on and so limited time. Like it's only weekends. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm not social for good reason because Monday through Friday, I'm not going out.
Yeah, I think maybe people can clock out on weekends. That's why. Because even for me, when I had a quote unquote like stable job, I couldn't mentally clock out of it on the weekends. So then I just wanted those 2 days for myself to like recharge Whereas I feel like everyone else, if they're kind of have like, I guess, a quote unquote healthy relationship with work and they're done and they could just mentally clock in and out on Fridays and Mondays, then the weekends they can just do whatever they want. So maybe everyone just has a really good relationship with their job.
I think so too.
I highly doubt I will ever return as an extrovert. Sure, I'll be down to do more things maybe, but I will never be an extrovert ever again.
Same. No, because it's like extrovert to me is like I still get drained hanging out with people, and I still get drained like doing activities with people all day and like talking. So I will still need days where I'm like, I need to be home by myself and like watching a TV show and not talking, or like recharging and just, there's like no mouth being opened, and things like that. I need that. But in terms of making more plans and making an effort to see people and like hanging out, I'm more open to that now versus before I was like, I don't want to do that at all.
Yeah. Or what I'm noticing is that you also take less time to recharge now. I don't know if it's a willingly thing, but it just seems like you take less time to recharge compared to even when we were in Korea.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
Do you ever get FOMO then if you say no?
I used to, but maybe because right now I'm really busy with my own things that I don't have that mental energy to be like, oh, I'm FOMO. Or maybe I'm just like so secured with my friendships that I don't get FOMO. Where I think sometimes FOMO is like maybe some people are like, oh man, like this is my chance to like get close to someone or like get closer to the group. That's why they're like kind of getting FOMO. But I feel like I just feel pretty secure in the friendships that it doesn't FOMO isn't really something I feel.
Yeah, I don't think I felt FOMO since college.
Yeah.
Damn.
I feel like I'm at that place where if I say no to something, there's no reason besides the fact that I don't want to go.
I'm not gonna get FOMO to something I said no to.
Yeah.
Me being an extrovert, I'll be an extrovert with you guys. I feel like I will, unless we stay up super, super late and I need to actually physically recharge, I feel like I can see you guys consistently and not need to recharge. But with everybody else, I'm probably going to say no 90% of the time versus with you guys, I'll say yes like 95% of the time. So then, sorry, but I just like my 2 friends that I have.
I was gonna say it's also because when we hang out, it's not like we're constantly doing something. Like, that week you guys were in LA, we're very much okay if we just literally sit there in silence, just laying on each other's laps, but we're all going through TikToks for, I don't know, an hour. And then we're like, okay, guys, let's do something. We're not constantly, let's hang out, let's do something. Like, we also just have our own me time, but just with each other's presence.
Yeah.
Anyways, I hope you guys are happy that we're back because this is the beginning of season 4. Just a reminder that we have our Instagram at After Hour Happy Hour, where the HR is spelled. Oh, that's not the full thing. After Hour Happy Hour. Oh, it is. At After Hour Happy Hour, where hour is spelled HR. And if you like what you're hearing, give us a 5-star rating. 5-star rating. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.